Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tune Project. Today I'll be teaching you how to play the song Rocky Top on the violin, so stay tuned. If you end up enjoying this video and finding it to be helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up below, and if you're not yet subscribed to the Tune Project, I post videos just like this one every week, so consider hitting that red subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you never miss when I post a new video. As always, the timestamps will be listed below if you'd like to skip around, and you can always adjust the speed in your video settings. Now grab your fiddle, and let's get into it. So for this one, we're going to be in the key of D major, which means we have two sharps, so feel free to play a quick D major scale to get warmed up if you would like. And the first phrase sounds like this. Okay, so we started on the A string with those 4 quarter notes, and then we made our way down to the D string, ending on an F sharp whole note. Now this next phrase is very similar. The first few measures are exactly the same as what we just played, but the last one is just a little bit different, so be sure to listen for that. Okay, so the notes were very similar, we just had a slightly different rhythm there at the end. Moving on, we have a continuation of the verse, which means more similar notes and just subtle differences in the rhythm. So here's how this third phrase sounds. Okay, and the last phrase of the verse, again, very similar. We just have a little bit of a change in rhythm, and it goes like this. Moving on to the chorus, we start on the A string with our first finger B natural. Okay, so notice we did have a C natural within that phrase, which means a low second finger on the A string, so a note that is not in the key of D major, but just gives the chorus a little bit of color. And then moving on to the next phrase of the chorus. Now within that last phrase, you're welcome to add a rest if you would like after good old Rocky Top. I know that's how it's often played. Otherwise, you're welcome to just extend that open D through the end of the measure. So now that we've made it to the end, let's go all the way back to the beginning of the verse and play through this song together. 1, 2, ready, go! right, hello patrons. Let's talk about some things that we can incorporate into this song to make it sound a little bit more fiddly and a little bit maybe more like the version of this tune that you might have heard before. As usual, I'll go ahead and just play through this phrase how I typically do with some added double stops so you can hear it first, and then I'll talk you through it. Okay, so for that, I just went ahead and droned an open D when I was playing melody on the A string and an open A when I was playing melody on the D string. So the whole time, you'll just keep your bow between the A and D strings for that. And then similar for the second phrase, we're just gonna keep our bow on both strings, A and D. And the second phrase sounds like this. Now for this third phrase, we're going to continue with the double stops, but I'm also going to add a couple of grace notes just to change up the feel and the style slightly, since we have mostly the same notes happening here. Okay, so you'll notice that again, I kept my bow between the A and D strings that whole time, but I just added a little grace note on the B, and so you're welcome to add that there if you would like. Also, I would encourage you to find other places to add in your own grace notes if there are places that you think would make sense. And then also slides. If you want to add any slides, this is a great song to do that. Moving on to the next phrase, the last phrase of the verse. Okay, so again there, still continuing with the double stops, which we will through the whole tune, but that time I added a little slide down on the B in the second measure on that second B. So you're welcome to do that if you would like. And here is our first phrase of the chorus with the double stops. Okay, so again, keeping our bow steadily on the D and A strings that whole time to bring in the drone string. But when we have the C natural, instead of playing C with open D because they clash, we're gonna instead place our first finger on the D string for that E, and then play the C along with it. So we have a nice C chord there instead. And then here's the last phrase of the song and the last phrase of the chorus. Okay, so there I kept the drones going, but I added in a rest after good old Rocky Top. So I just played a short open D, and then I went ahead and placed my fingers on the strings to dampen the sound so that we would have a true break before moving into the rest of that phrase. And that's just a fun way to encourage audience participation if you're playing this with other people or in front of a crowd, and it's typically how the song is done in those situations. So you're welcome to add that in there if you would like. So now that we've gone ahead and added in some double stops and a few ornaments into this song, I'll go ahead and play the whole thing for you from the very beginning with all of that. that was all of Rocky Top along with some fun ornaments and double stops to throw in there. I hope you enjoyed learning that one with me today, and congratulations for making it all the way to the end of this tutorial. You may have noticed at the ends of most phrases I would do a lift or a retake, and that was just simply to start the next phrase on a down bow, because in a lot of cases it's easier to do that and makes a little bit more sense bowing wise. So it's not a necessity for this one, but if you would feel a little bit more comfortable starting phrases on a down bow, that's a good way to do it. If you're interested in taking a look at the sheet music for this song, it is available in my digital sheet music library, and the link for that is in the description box below if you'd like to check it out. And until next time, happy practicing.